The other possible type of chord would have been whole tone chords. And, once you've roughed out some sort of rhythm that matches, I could easily just turn these notes into the notes of the whole tone scale. So I think I'll do that, yeah? I'll go Home, Filter, Chord Symbols, get rid of them. And I'll select this whole thing and go back up here and say Transform Scale. Now there's a handy little thing here saying snap non-scale tones to scale tones, and I'm going to choose from the drop down menu C whole tone. So now all of these notes are from the whole tone scale, which definitely is a new version. Let's have a listen to see if that's nicer than the other one. To be truthful, I do like that better. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that that didn't decrescendo fast enough, so I might just move the crescendo slightly to the left. It's often a good idea for Sibelius to actually tell it what the start and end point of every little hairpin. Real printed music doesn't typically have quite this much dynamics on it, but to make Sibelius sound the way you want it to sound, you sort of have to go to this level of annoyance value. Now I just have to do it all over again for my second melody. Even though they're in the versions, I think that I'm also going to save it as an idea. If you were starting to get confused, which I am, I must admit, I'd be tempted to actually save this as a file with a new file name. And, just to prove that my drafting is happening, I might just snip one into OneNote so that your teacher can see what you've been up to. So I did just 2 versions of this, and as Isabella was pointing out, it would be possible to do a bit of a Frankenstein. That's a bit of an advanced idea. That's all I have for you today. This is week 5's work. The draft in my original plan was actually due at the start of week 5, but obviously it'll need to be at the end of week 5. So what I suggest you try and have done by Monday is your second melody. And then we'll see if we can get to the stage where we've actually got some accompaniment lines for the melody by the end of week 5. And then we'll have one more week to just paste together some sort of structure, which might be just some introduction, melody 1 with accompaniment, melody 2 with accompaniment, Bob's Your Uncle, but probably not, yeah? Because we might want to give bits of the melody to the other duet person. For example, you could have this part in violin and then swap that to violin and make this the viola part and then this last bit the viola part. So you could sort of swap them around, or you might decide that you don't actually need accompaniment at all for part of it. You just want to start with a solo melody and then bring the accompaniment. And when you're trying to figure out like what you can do for the introduction or the coda, you might just do a little fragment like that as the introduction, or you might just do this twice as the coda, just to sort of peter out. Yadam. And that bit there, which could be the melody, yadam, could be down the octave, yadam. So once you've got 2 melodies with accompaniment, you should have enough material then in week 6 to pretty much just copy and paste things into your final version. And that's why I'm suggesting that you either keep all of your ideas in the ideas bank or as versions within the same file, so that eventually we'll get back to blank and we'll just be able to paste things into some sort of arrangement. A little bit like people, move the furniture around in their room. Does the vase of flowers look better on my dressing table, or would it be better on the ledge by the window? Yeah, so this sort of structural part of the process is right at the end. And if you've got 2 distinct melodies, both of which have some accompaniment, you'll have enough material once we start pasting the ideas into a final structure during week 6.